Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Here's your host. The new Black.
Hey, man, that's right, man. My brother Sidney, man. That's right. It's game time. That's right. It's game time here tonight, man. New Black Wall Street, man. I want to say thanks so much for joining us here tonight, man. We're doing an impromptu broadcast across our different platforms, Facebook and YouTube. Decided we're going to do something for the public just to kind of have a discussion with the community. Tonight, we're going to be looking at and discussing, different perspectives and our the way in which we approach this thing on GameStop stock analysis. And so some of you guys that are tuning in tonight, you know what's going on. Some of you guys have no idea what's going on, and that's okay. But this is a pretty hot topic, and we decided that I was fortunate enough to be connected with some brothers who said they'll hop on and share some of their insight, their thoughts, their perspective on this thing. As it's a lot going on with GameStop, which is a stock. It's a company. We'll get into it as we go forward. But I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, The Black Bazaar, and also international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, is a study of black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. I've noticed that everybody don't want to be rich, but I do. If you want to be wealthy, my recommendation is you study wealthy people. Of course, you can find that book, The Black Billionaires Club, by going to the website, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up your copy today. While you're there, I just want to let you know that we also do have a club. And so if you are someone that wants to get around some of the discussions that we're going to be having tonight, you want to get around people like that, that's into building wealth, building business, you ain't got nobody that you can turn to get no help, well, you might want to find a new circle, and that circle actually could be the Black Billionaires Club. You'll find that tab, join the club, or at the website. And so we'd welcome you with open arms as we work together to help build your dreams. Man, go ahead and let us know for those that are here live with us here. I know some people might catch the replay at some point in time. We're broadcasting across the World Wide Web and the Facebook, YouTube. Let us know where you're connecting from. What city, what state, what country. I do have people all over the globe that tune into some of the things I'm presenting, the value that I bring into the marketplace. And so just love to know who's here. Where you connected from. Love to shout you out right now. That's right. Go ahead, hit that like button and share button if you care. Like button and share button if you care. And let us know what city, state, or country you are connecting from. We're broadcasting from our virtual studios here in Decatur, Georgia. That's right, Decatur, where it's greater. And we're in such a historic time that I could connect with you in Kenya and Nigeria and New Zealand and Belgium and in France and China, just from the comfort of my bedroom. Isn't that wonderful? That's fantastic. Look at the time that we're in. Our parents did not have this opportunity, but we do. And guess what? Some of us are taking advantage of it. That's right. Some of us are taking advantage of it, having a global economy, global connections all over the world. So I want you guys to know, if it's something that you present into the marketplace, something that you offer, and your local community ain't hitting on nothing, guess what? It's people all over the world waiting for you, waiting for the value that you bring. You just got to go find them. They ain't got to find you. You got to find them. Hey, go ahead and hit somebody. Go ahead and tag somebody as well if you were here. They say, man, you know what? I'm about this. I'm about this life. I'm about this brothers talking about money life. We don't get this very often. We don't see brothers talking about money. We be talking about sports. We be talking about the girly girls. But talking about money and getting to the bag, that's a whole nother level. Of course, we do it. We just do it behind closed doors. And so I'm very fortunate to be connected to some like-minded brothers and sisters who are saying, you know what, let's bring this before the community. Let's begin to have these discussions. Let's be the change that we want to see. And I don't know about you, but I need to find more brothers and sisters that want to talk about money, because that economics, that's what's going to kind of change our landscape, when we start buying up, all the hotels and all the grocery stores and all the liquor stores and all that stuff. We start buying it all up, buying the block back because we got the capital to do it. But nonetheless, I want to introduce you. I'm bringing my good friend here, he has a whole different perspective. We'll talk about our perspectives and how we approach what we call the stock market and try to help you understand what the stock market is for those that don't know. But again, tonight we'll be covering really kind of talking about GameStop, which is a stock that's on the stock market. And this is a options trader and also an options teacher. And so he's here with me tonight. He goes by Diamond. Dave is up in the building. What's going on with you, brother?
How you feel, man? How you doing?
Man, I am stoked, man. It ain't too often that, it ain't too often that this gonna happen. So I don't take it for granted, man. How's everything going with you, man?
Going all right, going good.
Man, thanks so much for taking the time to be here with us here tonight. If you want to just do a quick little introduction about who you are and what you do, and then also, how do you kind of approach, what's your approach kind of into the market itself as a whole?
Yeah, my name is David W. Williams, also known as Diamond Dave. So I'm a founder of a course, this options trading course called the Highest Paid Part-Time Job in the World. And so that's primarily what I do is I trade options, also teach people also how to trade options with the goal of getting them to around $2K a month in profit. And, how I really see the current market now is that what I'm really trying to observe is based on this new particular administration that we have, what is going to be the direction of the overall market, and then what particular sectors of industry are going to be very bullish because of policy that's going to be set forth by this administration, so we can kind of know what to focus on.
Okay, so that's very similar in nature to me, and I'm going to do a quick few shout outs as well. I'm been an investor. For those that don't know me, I've been an investor and a teacher of investing, particularly to the Black community. That's my target. But I'm starting to branch out a little bit. I say, hey, if y'all ain't gonna pay for the value that I'm bringing, guess what? Some other people will. But at any rate, I'm not going to discriminate when it comes to getting that money, by the way. I'm just going to let you know. But at any rate, I've been investing for over 10 years, guys. I've been teaching for over 10 years, guys. And I think I'm just now starting to come into that space of recognition. I tell you, when you start a business or you start something new that you're doing, bringing value to the community or to the marketplace, it takes a while for you to actually gain recognition, and that's what you're really working on in the beginning. So I think I'm at that space now where my reputation goes before me, and I can talk that ish now. I can talk mad ish now. I got receipts. But nonetheless, man, Miss Goodrich is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us, man. BBC, absolutely. Queen Vivian has joined us as well out of Brooklyn, New York. My main man, Mr. Martin, Sam Martin, is here with us out of Richmond, Virginia. Thanks so much for joining, man. I see y'all tags some people. Aaron is in the house, man. That's what I'm talking about. Brooklyn is in the house. Miss Mankins Golden has joined us as well. Thanks so much as well for joining us here tonight. Donto Williams out of Memphis. What's going on? Sydney Mealy out of Houston. Tony Carter, what's going on with you, brother? Thanks so much for joining us as well. I don't know what. I think you're in Connecticut. I'm not quite sure. So that's us we got. So what I wanted to do tonight, guys, also we'll take a look at GameStop, can give you an update of what's going on. But this is, everybody's hit me up like, what do you think about GameStop and all this stuff? And I'm, I really, honestly, until this day, I didn't really know what was going on. I don't pay attention to everything that's going on in the market. I have stuff that I have on my watch list. And if it ain't on my watch list, I simply don't watch it. I mean, it's just that simple. That's the reason why I created a watch list, so I can pay attention to the things. And if you don't know what a watch list is, it's basically saying, you know what? I found some companies I might be interested in. I want to watch them for a while before I may decide to invest in them or kick them off my watch list. So I'm paying attention to what's going on with their news, what's going on with their movement, what's going on with their earnings, all that good stuff. I'm a long-term investor at heart, but I do have some trading in my veins, and so that's kind of how I approach the market. So there's been a lot of people today. What do you think about GameStop? And I was like, you know what? I don't have an opinion on GameStop. Number one, you pay me for my opinion. That's number one, right? If you're gonna ask me, so you paying me for my advice or my opinion. That's I've earned that right to charge for that. But because it's so our community normally gets so involved in anything, right? Bitcoin, we wait till you get to 40,000 before we get interested. You know what I'm saying? Like we normally wait. It's not like we have done anything to get in position prior to, but now that this skyrocketed, we take notice of it. That's kind of how our community is. So anyway, we're gonna take a look at GameStop, man. But I got another special treat for you. I got another brother that's joining us. So y'all gonna get to see three brothers talking about money, their perspective on what's going on with GameStop. I got my main man Kamari Ellis out of Philadelphia here. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready, brother. Just want to make sure. I don't know if you still all right. He's ready to go. So let me bring Kamari in here, man. I call him the voice. This is my homie, man, financial rebel out of Philadelphia. I'll see why I call him the voice in just a second. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
There it is. There, I'm doing all right, man. Thanks so much for being us here tonight.
Man, it's like Chocolate City up here tonight. What's up?
Absolutely, man. Hey, our people need to see this, man. Our people need to see us. You know, we ain't hiding. They need to see us talk about money. So I appreciate you, Diamond Dave. I appreciate you, Kamari, taking the time. You know, I know we busy. We making content, all that good stuff. But so I don't take it for granted. You guys taking 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes out of your day to come on with me and present this to the people. But Kamari, man, same for Diamond. He just shared kind of a little bit about who he is and what he does. And I definitely want people to follow you guys and what you guys are doing. So if you could tell us a little bit about what you got going on, man.
I'm Kamari Ellis, like you said, the finance rebel. I've been in the financial services industry for over 20 years, everything from accounting and tax to Wall Street investing, now back to accounting and tax, but more on an educational side. So my real big passion is educating our people with all the basics, right? A lot of times I heard you say, you know, we want to get really pumped up on the stuff after it's too late, after it's already been pumped, right? When it's about to get dumped. So I'm hoping I can come here and kind of be a stopgap to say, hey, let's pause the brakes here for a minute. Let's look at this and let's understand what we're actually looking at. So that's what I try to do every day, is educate the people on money across the board.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate the service that you are bringing to our community, man. Let me go and hit this share button, man. I'm gonna pull up GameStop because it's been going a little bananas. It definitely has, you know, and it's still and we're in a space that we call aftermarket now, guys. So the stock market is open from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once it closes, that's the opening for the retail investor. That's the opening for the people that you know, the small fish in the sea. When the market closes, we have aftermarket, and that's when all the private investors and institutional money is going on. A lot of stuff going on in the aftermarket. People have access, you know, what they call them, accredited investors and stuff like that. They got special access to be able to do stuff when the public doesn't have access. Okay, and so we are in aftermarket now for this thing called GameStop, and I'm gonna pull up Yahoo Finance, and you guys will see this. You know, at the end of the bell, which they call the market ending, it was 92%, closing at 147.98. Now aftermarket, right now we're showing up another 62 points, additional 42% on top of that, and this is all just day and a half, so to speak, and then not to mention what happened yesterday, which I don't remember, but I will pull up the 5-day increase for this thing called GameStop over here. So over the past 5 days, it's up 455%. Okay, everybody put in console 455. The past 5 days, it's up 455%. So I'll come to you, Diamond Dave, because I come from a long-term investing standpoint. This was not even on my radar, but I'm pretty sure probably through your screening and probably through open interest and all that stuff, it may have came up on your watch to see what's going on here with all this activity, being that you kind of are like an options trader, I'd imagine. But you tell me, how's that work in your world?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. So like I made some call options on this, I want to say maybe in the summer when it was coming out of the teens. And then I kind of left it alone because it wasn't, like you talked about before, it's not one of my core positions that I normally play. And I normally try to focus on certain core positions, especially for long term. But I was able to, I call it like low-hanging fruit, was able to go in there, do some profitable call options and just get out of there. But I've always known when you're looking at GameStop, and I even, what I'm seeing happening now is what I thought was going to happen last year. You got a stock with a relatively small float, and small float is a relative term kind of based on the industry in that particular company, with a really, really high short interest. So the short interest for GameStop was over 100%. So just based on the fundamentals of the market, if you could get enough buying pressure, enough buying demand, you would have shorts would have to cover, which means they would have to buy more stock, which means it will raise the price up, which means more shorts will have to cover, and all becomes like a feedback mechanism. So a lot of people are calling this a short squeeze. I don't necessarily think the short squeeze has happened yet, because if you look at the short percentage, it's still well over 70%. So under normal circumstances, if a company has a 70% short percentage, nobody would say the short squeeze is already taking place. You will be anticipating the short squeeze. So GameStop still has such a massive amount of short percentage. What I think you're just seeing is a lot of buying, but I don't think you've really seen the short squeeze actually go into effect. And I also don't think, we may get into this later because I don't want to get ahead of myself. A lot of people are characterizing this as a play from retail people, normally what we would call the Wall Street bets crowd. I would ask anybody that is being told that narrative, can you get 10 people you don't know to do something? And if you can't get 10 people you don't know to do something, then how did you get all these hundreds of people to all buy this stock at the same time, to all hold it, to create this type of phenomenon that we're seeing currently? So to me, there has to be some institutions behind doing this. And so what I would look for is, are there any dark pool prints buying this stock? Because if we see dark pool prints buying this stock, then we know it's not Wall Street bets.
Wow. Yeah, I told you, I get heavier. It get heavier up in here, man. And it's very interesting you said that because, obviously, I think some people see the influential or the influence that's coming, what I would call sentiment, right? We have some of the big dogs that's tweeting about it and stuff like that, and seem to be causing some things to keep rallying. So that's very interesting as well. And they may have some dogs in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, listen, the love of money is the root of all evil. It's all about getting the money. So let's not kid ourselves. So somebody has a position. Somebody big has a position, and it's important. They're not going to lose. So this is very interesting what you said, man. Kamari, man, what's your thoughts or your takes of what you've seen so far, man?
I mean, David kind of summarized it really well, right? Short interest is definitely up, right? I do think, however, the Reddit crowd is largely behind this. Like they're having a ball with this over there. They think it's like sticking to the man. Now, what David said is right. Like normally you can't get 10 people together to do things, but I know, and I'm sure both of y'all brothers know too, that sometimes we'll mention a stock or we'll mention a play just as in talking about it from an educational standpoint, and people will just go get it without any research, without any thought, without any due diligence. So I do believe that the Reddit crowd is largely behind this. Are there any dark pools behind it as well? Potentially. I'm sure somebody greedy has seen the interest spike up and maybe in for a day or maybe for a quick swing trade or something like that. But again, I wouldn't be surprised. But again, when you look at this company, though, you look at the financials, this is a non-profitable company. So everything always, what goes up comes back down at some point. So we all know, we've been seeing this market has been a wild market. There's no rhyme or reason behind it. The market has not been acting in a true to fashion fundamental way. But I don't think this is going to last. And they're due to put out earnings in the next couple of days. I want to say on the 31st. So the 31st.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think the 31st is the day where it's all going to come out. So I wouldn't be surprised. But the other thing, I mean, again, to David's point, I do think it's a squeeze, but it's like this ongoing squeeze. It's really weird because you have more pressure coming in. You have more buyers coming in, but you also have more short sellers coming in at the same time. It's really weird because you saw the short interest peak like around the 13th when you saw that really big spike, fell down a little bit, and then again yesterday or the day before, short interest really picked up again. So this is this is going to be one for the books. I will say this though. If the retail investors are really behind this, I think they're going to mess up the market for everybody because the SEC and the overall markets will not like this at all. And we potentially could see some regulatory change. So, if this keeps happening, I mean, it's really like Wild Wild West out here. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I tell you, I have a lot of different thoughts. As I'm kind of getting into what's been happening, what is going on. Some of the voices that are involved. And one thing that really speaks to me is that, let's just say in the case that it were retail investors, it shows you the power of influence And it also says to me, man, what the things that we could do if we just came together on any particular thing. You know, with our money. You know what I'm saying? we can literally, I mean, if this could happen on this, I mean, I'm just thinking about, okay, what if I don't know, a Magic Johnson came out and tweeted about a stock and all the black folk, you know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking on that standpoint. It's like, man, we can literally run something. You literally could run something up and almost everybody get rich that's in on it. Like you said, which brings in the regulation from SEC, you know, which, you know, but you get, you know, to the regulation there, you know, squeeze by. That these are, you know, this is just a very, very interesting phenomenon to watch, and then also kind of think about, like, man, if they could do it, we could do it. That's how I look at it. I mean, I started looking at stuff like that. Like, how could we put ourselves in a position to really own and control and manipulate and influence? You know,
I would love to see us do it, but even though with all the I don't know, the hubris and the euphoria this year, especially around black folks getting into the market, I don't know if there's enough of us to do it.
Wow. And you mean enough that would you say enough that's actually has access or is you know, registered or has access to the market? Because you know, we have
in the market that are ready to buy it, ready to put their money in play.
Okay, gotcha. All right, gotcha. So here's some things, guys. And again, I mean, we'll bring you up to speed of what's going on. This is just a hot topic. We wanted to bring it to you. Again, that's 455% of this GameStop is up over the past 5 days. We saw 92% today. Aftermarket 42%. And here is a couple things I'll pull up. We have this. I think Kamara, you brought this up on your Instagram. And here's what they're talking about here. GameStop jumps another on CNBC above 104%, but short sellers aren't backing down, which you just mentioned. They're still coming in. And here's the key points. GameStop jumped on Tuesday after a roller coaster day that saw the stock more than double and turn negative within hours. Wow. GameStop has rallied more than 680% in January alone as an army of retail investors marshal against short sellers in online chat rooms. So it seems to be what they're saying is a battle going on. And like you said, maybe on that the Reddits and those you know, telegrams and things like that they got going on, they feel like they're sticking. I mean, it's almost a sense of a retail investor feeling like they're sticking it to an institutional investor. You know what I mean?
But did you see that one Reddit where it says "We did it, boys"? Oh man, I just had it up. He said, "We did it, boys. We ran it up. They damn near bankrupt this one hedge fund that had to do all the short covering." I'm trying to find. Right. I mean, so these guys are gloating about this stuff.
This is some major. This is like major power move type stuff going on. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, but I mean, and I'm familiar with that particular group, and so I'm happy that the people that were in this play over the summer are cashing out. It's just, I don't think that the retail has enough capital and can organize the capital at the same time to pull this type of play off. So do I think they have some influence in it? Yes, but I think that this has become so profitable for people to where now you're getting bigger pools of money to come into it because they understand the fundamentals behind it. Once when you have this type of, I think this I would call like a phenomenon, when you got this small of a float with this much of a short interest, if you can start pushing this thing in one direction, it's going to start to feed into itself. And then when you got short sellers jumping back in now, if you can continue to feed it, they're going to now have to cover. So if you got short sellers now shorting at what this high is now at 200, they come out tomorrow morning, they start borrowing and selling, right? You're going to have this issue to where the float is going to get even smaller. And then if you now can create more demand, then they're going to get burned again. So that's what people have to understand, is that if you can put a certain amount of capital behind this, you can really profit. And I think that's where you're going to start to see institutions, or maybe not big hedge funds like the Goldman Sachs or the JP Morgans, but just maybe even small prop firms. They got a few million in capital that understand that we can really take advantage of this phenomenon now because there's so much activity here now. Because there's no way in the world I would short this at the point it is at now. Because it's where are you borrowing shares from? So I would not touch this with a 10-foot pole as a short seller, because the short interest is still so high and it's still such a very volatile situation.
Man, oh man. And I know, guys, that there's some that are watching it. This might be new language for you. But just tune in, try to catch what you can catch, because this is the kind of discussions and talk that is happening on a regular basis for people that are in the market. So we're not really this convo and this conversation isn't necessarily we want to educate you, but we're not going to like be breaking everything down. I wanted to get you to expose to like money talk. And if you're like, man, I don't know what they're talking about, hopefully it encourages you to start getting into some of these rooms, because this is where money multiplies. This is where money grows. This is where there's a big difference between Main Street and Wall Street. And we've been pressing to get more of our people to be enthused or to even be intrigued about this phenomenon that we call Wall Street. Now, there was a pretty popular guy wanted to say something, and he just did one tweet after hours. That was Elon Musk. So of course, he runs a company that be off the chain, going up and down, going up all over the place with Tesla. So Elon Musk comes out. Oh Lord, I can't even. Okay, so Elon Musk comes out at 4:08 and with just one word, just one word, and that was GameStop. And you see what's happening after hours, right?
I mean, that's 250.
Huh?
It is 250. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. This is the power influence, guys. And so, but I do want to read this a little bit about this what they put in this article on Barron's, because I thought this was very interesting. That they talked about how let's see if I can catch it. Okay, yeah. The target, I think I saw it. Okay, yeah. So Musk has done this before. It says Musk tweets has moved other small cap stocks before. In January, he just referenced a Signal messaging app in a tweet, and shares of Signal Advance, which is not even the same thing, actually went from $7 to $70 in one day. But that stock is now at $5.50. Okay, so stuff, crazy things have happened. But yeah, this is the power influence, and we actually have influence. It's just not often. It's normally influenced on the consumer side. They get our celebrities and our influencers to get us to go buy stuff to help their companies become more profitable. Well, in this particular case, he just put something out to help other people go get that money. And that's what's going on. So it's very interesting here. So let me come to you, Amari, man. What some people that they're looking at, how we do. 455%. I want to go get me some of that. I got to get me some of that, man. What would be just your thoughts on maybe someone that just happened to have been like Dave and just been in it, for 6 months, 3 months, whatever, and they like, whoa. And then come to the other side, someone that's looking at this thing is like, I missed out. The fear of missing out. Everybody putting console FOMO. The fear of missing out. I'm missing out. Where have I been? I've been sleep under a rock. What are your thoughts? And maybe for those two different types of people who might be watching this stream right now or later on.
I mean, I think here's the thing: you never want to be a part of the herd. You always want to be able to do your own thing, have your own process, stick to your own process. This is a phenomenon. I've been saying it all day, then I just heard Dave say it. So we all must be right. It's a phenomenon. We probably won't see anything like this anytime soon. Again, and I do believe the SEC and all the exchanges will probably get involved if retail really is behind this. And even if a lot of dark money is behind it too, because if anybody remembers the flash crash, everybody had their panties in a bunch over that as well. So I think if you are already in the market and you're not clear on how to play it, avoid it. If you're definitely not in the market, avoid it. Stick to your regularly scheduled programming. I mean, a lot of times that's what gets us messed up. We avoid our discipline, or we leave our discipline, right? Because when you're an investor or a trader, whichever one you self-identify with, there's a discipline, or there should be a discipline that goes along with that. The people that have done it the longest, they have lost money. And they know that, as Warren Buffett says, the first rule of investing or trading is not to lose money. Now, we're all going to lose something at some point, but you don't want to increase the risk of losing. So you don't want to chase after this. It's almost like chasing after that young lady that dissed you, turned you down, and she wouldn't let you buy her a drink at the club. Just let it go, man. Just let it go and walk away. Let it go and walk away.
So I like that key word there, man. And I preach that often as well. Discipline. You develop a strategy. You find a strategy that works and you stick to it. And so but it's difficult. I mean, we get enticed as the enthusiasm grabs us sometimes. Like, oh man, you start thinking about 455. Oh,
I mean, I guess I don't know. For me, right? So like, I used to do a lot of institutional investing, right? So I would have to go before an investment committee and prove all of my trades, or at least defend all of my trades, like I was studying for a PhD dissertation or something. So, and these guys didn't look like me. They didn't want me to be there. And then so I think I'm probably still operating out of some of that trauma because I'll be a little slow on some of my trades. But at the end of the day, I'd rather stick to my discipline and do it. Earlier today, I talked to a colleague of mine who's a sophisticated investor. They were ready to jump in. I said, are you crazy? Man, get back to work and study up. Leave that alone. That ain't for you. If you missed it, it's cool. So, it's okay. You're not going to get everything. And people need to realize this, right? The stock market does not always run on logic and rationale. The stock market oftentimes runs on fear and greed. And so if you get caught up in those fear and greed cycles, you're asked to lose money, which is going to hurt your feelings. And you know what they say, a hard head makes a soft behind. Man,
oh man, Diamond Dave, man, some kind of same question to you as you consider those that may already be in position. You were happy to be in a position earlier, coming up into this run, and then you have some that are just they're just kind of catching wind of this, just like the masses of people. What would be your position, or your take, or your the way that you would approach it?
Yeah, that's a great question, because on the ride back home today, I had a guy call me, and he's somebody that I'm counseling in the options market. And he asked me, like, should he get options on this? And I told him I would stay away from it. I said, to me, this is like, there's a part of the city where there's a lot of money being made, but it's a very, very dangerous part of the city. If you're not already established over there, you need to stay out of there, because what's going to happen is you're going to go over there and you're just going to get chopped up. And so I just really think that if you have not already been positioned in this area, I know a guy from that Reddit board where he was $50,000 in calls, and last week, not even this week, last week he pulled about $7 million out of the market, but he had been positioned since the summer. If you're not already in this situation, I would stay away from it, because it's too volatile, especially for a novice investor. But what I want to really impress on people is that we saw the same type of scenario with Tesla in the summer, when Tesla was operating on a very small float and there was a lot of demand on their shares. So what you're seeing is that the market produces these type of situations. It just does, because the market is built to do this. What I really want to impress on people is that when you are studying and you're trained and you understand how to observe these scenarios, this is happening because of fundamentals that existed in this company. And then you started having a lot of demand on the stock. Same thing with Tesla. You had a small float with a lot of demand and a lot of call options that was driving more buying. So when you kind of understand how the market is set up and how it works, you see the potential for these plays. Doesn't mean they're going to happen, but you understand the potential. You can right now go on the internet and look at the companies that have the highest short percentage, right? Then you start to correlate that between float. So what's the correlation between the float and the short percentage? All this information is publicly available. So once you learn the markets, which is something that you talk about all the time, you start to see the opportunities for these plays to set up, and you can position yourself and then observe it. And then when it starts to, you think that it's happening, you can try to get into a better position. But waiting until it's already happened and trying to jump in, it's like you're trying to jump in a car that's already going 60 miles an hour down the road. You're going to kill yourself trying to get in that car.
Absolutely.
Man, that's well said, man. And hopefully you guys see why I roll with brothers like this, man. People that I can turn to, and we can bounce, our different ways that we may approach something to come up with something that works for us. And so I encourage you guys, those that are investing, those that are trading, those that are thinking about investing, and those that are thinking about trading, you got to, think about who you are going to roll with, right? Everybody don't got good advice, good discipline, or none of that stuff. Who are you going to connect to? And that's something that you may want to think about and consider. And while we're talking about connecting, man, Kamari, man, there's some people here that say, man, I vibe with that, the way which he operates, he talks, in his intellect, if they're wanting to follow you, Brother Kamari, what's the best way for them to follow the Finance Rebel?
Pretty much on any platform. I'm on Facebook. You can find me at Kamari the Finance Rebel, Kamari Ellis the Finance Rebel. I am on Instagram at the Finance Rebel, and I'm on YouTube at Kamari Ellis. I probably need to make them all mesh together.
Yeah, we talked about that. You got your shirt on today too, as well, man.
My shirt on. I can get some hats, but I can't find nobody.
Okay, wait till COVID is over. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And Diamond Dave, same question to you, man. There's some people that's like, man, okay, I can vibe with that. That's my kind of guy. Obviously, as I mentioned, I know that you are a teacher in that space. So I mean, I can definitely hear the teaching in you. If there's some people that are watching here tonight saying, you know, I need to just follow this guy, you know, connect with him, take his class, whatever. How would they go about connecting with you?
You can find me on Facebook under David Williams. You can also find me on YouTube and Instagram under Diamond Dave. So both the same tag name on both Instagram and the YouTube as Diamond Dave.
Absolutely. And you have you said you have a course or something like that. Or you run a platform, highest paid trade, highest, what is it?
It's the highest paid part-time job in the world. So you can, reach out to me. I can give you more information on that, because what I like to normally do is give somebody an infographic so they can really kind of understand and answer any questions they have about it. And through that infographic, they can just get hyperlinked directly to the course.
Okay, fantastic. Absolutely. And so, and again, I don't want to take up too much time, but I do want to open it up maybe for any questions. Of course, you guys are here on through, Facebook, Instagram, ERGJ Enterprise. That's where obviously you can find me. And we do have the Black Billionaires Club as well, which Diamond Dave is a part of. Got to get Kamari over there at some point in time as well. I know we're all busy, but you got any questions? Any thoughts? I know we did have one question, and this probably is for you, Dave. Somebody did ask about dark pool prints. What does that mean? This might be a good question to maybe take on.
Yeah, so from my understanding, and I know Kamar can also add to this too, is that dark pools are these big, large institutions that are buying outside of the normal market. And what they normally do is they buy a really, really large amount. They take a very large position, and it doesn't know this happen during market hours. So, and you don't necessarily always know whether it's a buy or a sell. You just know that they've taken a particular position, and you can kind of see how the market reacts the next day to try to determine how that particular position impacted the market. And so you got to understand is that there's a market going on for people that are really, really well capitalized and connected that the average person may not be aware of. Now, what some people try to do is take that dark pool information and kind of determine how they're going to trade. I don't do that, but that's what some people teach because they feel like that's an indicator of where the market is going to be going over the next few days, right? But that's normally what dark pools are. Is that they're these big institutions that buy outside of the normal market hours, and they're normally doing it so they can take a really large position without shocking the market during the regular market hours.
Mario, got anything to add to dark pool prints?
They basically hit it. I mean, a lot of times, the other thing I would add is a lot of times there's sometimes institutional buying. And again, a lot of times it doesn't show up the way that you would and if you're trading in the markets, just a regular retail investor. So yeah, Dave hit it on the button.
So understand, guys, that there's levels to this thing, right? You know what I mean? There's a lot. Listen, there's a lot of money in Wall Street, guys, and clearly, many of us are probably on the retail level. But cool thing is knowing that these other things exist, we can begin to create these spaces where we get that kind of access as well. It's a hard barrier to crack, but green money talks and BS walks, man. Samuel Martin, I think this is for you, brother Kamari. If there is a flash crash, will those puts pay out or freeze up?
You might have both. Anything's bound to happen when you have a flash crash, but I don't think you'll see any real flash crash happen out of this like the way it did before. By the way, this is all for educational, entertainment purposes only, right? Anything is bound to happen. So, but I think eventually once everything settles, you will get paid if you had a put that was in the money.
Oh, absolutely. A put that was in the money. Cool, man. And the comments below, guys, I'd like for you to share something that you learned today. We don't do this just to do this. We do this to make a difference. And hopefully we made a difference in your life today. You picked up something, you learned something, you see that there's some things that you don't know. Well, whatever your takeaway is, I'm simply asking you to answer this question in the comments below. Was this worth your time and why? Was this worth your time and why? Got brother Kamari Ellis, Finance Rebel. Again, you can find him at Kamari Ellis in some places, Kamari Ellis Finance Rebel in some places. Yeah. Just look him up. You'll find him if you want to follow him, follow the movement he's doing. Matter of fact, Kamari, if you could, again, just give us a brief depiction, because I know you cover a lot, and it's not just investing. I mean, but you try to give people like a basic, foundational approach to money. It sounds like.
I do. I mean, I love the markets, right? Flat out. If I could do anything all day long, it would be the markets. But what I find is when talking to our people is that we don't even know how to budget. We don't know how to save. So sometimes I find it really hard to talk about the markets and not talk about these other things. Those are the people that are in my community need help with, again, savings. I mean, some people don't even have life insurance, so a lot of these bare bone things that a lot of people are missing out on. Like, for example, last week I talked about budgeting. Nobody's thinking about budgeting, but if we can't control our dollars, we can never become wealthy. And, a lot of times we waste a lot of our money that could be in the stock market. Like Dave said before, we could be in position to use it, but we are already out of position. A lot of times it's because we won't do the basics. So I kind of cover the basics, everything from, I will talk about budgeting. I talk a lot about taxes because that's a real big barrier to wealth. And I talk a lot about investments in stock as well. It seems like my audience asks me mostly about stocks. So I guess my passion really shows through.
Fantastic. If you could in the private chat, Brother Kamari, just put maybe your Instagram there, and I'll just put it into the comments, or put it in the comments yourself. And Diamond, Brother Dave, same thing. And come back to you, Brother Dave, again, just a kind of a brief overview of really, I would say, the impact that you're looking to make in our community as it relates to money or investing or trading.
So what I normally try to do is that, and what we're trying to do and what we're going to accomplish is that we look for people that are really dissatisfied with the money that they're making from their 9 to 5, and they're also dissatisfied with the amount of time they got to steal away from their family to make that money. And we try to help them understand the power of options trading with the goal of making $2K a month minimum profit, use it as a baseline and push themselves up off a baseline. So we kind of make that their minimum standard, and then we want them to move up off of that. And we've been successful in getting people to that particular standard by really teaching them the fundamental understanding of options trading. So we stay away from a lot of the really technical things. We stay away a lot of the really complicated things because we think that impairs people from coming into the space, because really the foundation of you being successful in this space is controlling your psychology. And we've been successful in getting people to understand that and then developing them as traders so they can hit that 2K and then working them off of that. So that's really what I'm very passionate about. And our goal this year is to bring 1,000 people into the markets to be able to operate in that way, because we understand that once a person hits that 2K a month profit, it changes the way they see the world, because they're not really dealing with income instability, and it develops a confidence to where they know they can go make money without somebody else's permission. And that's very powerful, because for the majority of us, the only time we can make money is somebody else tells us that we can. And that creates a lot of anxiety in us trying to figure out how we keep that relationship. The market doesn't care about those kind of things. It just cares, do you understand how to add value to the market, and in return, you can make some money.
Man, oh man, well said, man. Let's catch up on these comments, man. Greg said, man, he learned about dark pool. He said, absolutely worth it. Mari said, man, I learned about dark pool well, man. Didn't know there's a whole bunch of things going on out there that I ain't know about. Yes, it is. Peace, love, very information. Thanks so much. Micah Dies in the house. Yeah, we put Kamari's Instagram down there. Diamond Dave, you can put it in the chat or put it in the comments for you. That'd be well as well. I think this is Dante, definitely time introduced to new people to learn from. Absolutely. Great info. Stock with foundation. Dante said, yeah, learn not to try and jump in a fast moving car. Definitely gave a clear picture of what's going on with GME. I was super confused. I appreciate that. Ron learned the new reason that the price of a stock moves. Yeah. I mean, guys, this stuff is I mean, this is major stuff, man. It's when you've been doing it for a while, it doesn't move you. But we don't want to take for granted that there was a time that we weren't in the space that we are in. We started out just like everybody else. Similar emotions, similar things going on, and at whatever time that was. And so this is our give back in a sense to help calm your nerves and help calm you down just a little bit, man. So that's what we got here tonight on the New Black Wall Street. Brother Kamar, man, you got any last words before we close this thing out? Again, I want to appreciate and say thank you so much for taking the time to come with us here tonight. Again, I called you out of the whim. You popped up, man, so I appreciate that, man. Any last words for the peeps?
Absolutely, man. I got to say this. Thank you, and I'm humbled that you thought to invite me. I'm honored that you brought me here and honored that the guests are happy with my commentary. I would just say keep investing, right? Don't be afraid to start small. You only need $1 to start in the markets, but don't just become financially literate, y'all. We got way more work to do. Become a financial master, and it doesn't take that much. It just takes a little bit of dedication, a little bit of hard work, and a little bit of experimentation, but it don't take a whole lot.
Absolutely. Diamond Dave, man, any last words to the peeps? Again, thanks so much for taking the time to come on such short notice. But I think we had a successful stream here tonight. Any last words for the peeps before we close this thing out?
Yeah, I want to just really thank you for allowing me to be on and adding value to your particular audience. And I just want to tell the audience that these situations that you see with GameStop are going to continue to repeat. We saw this with Tesla earlier on. You're going to see something else in another 3 months to 6 months. So don't get caught up in the hype. Educate yourself, understand how to position yourself properly, and you can take advantage of these kind of not necessarily before they happen, but while they're developing, as opposed to hearing about it too late and then trying to figure out how you're going to jump in after the fact. So the real goal is to get you into the market, get a fundamental understanding of the market, then move into trading so you can start taking advantage of these as far as you're a long-term investor, whether you are very confident in GameStop long-term and you can just ride up this appreciation, or you want to trade it and make some money as it moves back and forth.
Absolutely, man. Thanks so much, Dave. And I would say, just from my standpoint, one of the things that I really teach about how to get in front of the money, right? And that's what we're talking about, position yourself, where when the money comes in, you're already there. And it just pushes you up, pushes your portfolio up, pushes your finances up versus I call it getting in the back of the bus. We tired of being in the back of the bus. It's time to start moving to the front of the bus. Ultimately, it's time for us to own the bus, like Malcolm X said. And so we know that's going to take a little bit of money, right? But we can do it with due diligence, consistency, time, research, and study. Everybody putting down so study. If you want to be wealthy, you study wealthy people. If you want to be successful in the market, you must begin to study the market and learn what you don't know about money. Well, beautiful people, this is the New Black Wall Street. Thanks so much for all our guests. And also all of you who hit the like button and share button, thought enough of your brother and sister to say, it's not about me, it's about we. You probably tag somebody as well. That's just what we do because we are our brothers and our sisters' keeper. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The New Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.